Hey, what's up everyone? Adam here, bringing you more SuperCard action. Today we're going to go over a bit more of an in-depth look into Clash of Champions. There's actually a new quest packed in the store, and I think that's everything. Oh, the Fusion Chamber's been updated. So, let's get to it. So, first of all, the Fusion Chamber. Now, the Anchors Aweigh is technically over. I managed to get a pack in just before the end. That finishes in 9 hours 15 minutes. We do actually have Wrestlemania 36 officially out now. It takes 5.5 days to make, and even with the Fusion Friday, was it Fusion Frenzy or whatever it's called, half price thing, it's just under 8,000 credits to skip a WrestleMania 36 Fusion. So we've got our Vanguard, which will be done soon, and then our WrestleMania 36, which does bring me on to the quest. So this quest seems a bit of another money grab by SuperCard, to be honest with you. So it's the Fusion quest, and the big reward for it is, it looks the same as the pack that you get if your champion wins Clash of Champions. So it's based on your top 8 tier. It's a WrestleMania 36. It's a Primal. Train up enhancement from WrestleMania 36 to Nightmare, and then a bonus chance at a gear. But to do this quest, earn a star catalog star, not that part hard. Obtain 3 fusions from Primal to WrestleMania 36. You only get a week to do this quest, unless they're gonna have like next week's Giants would still have a day left for this quest. So next week's Giants, the next team events, just probably Road to Glory, unless they're gonna have a good few Primal to WrestleMania 36 fusions in there. People aren't going to be able to complete this quest without spending credits. Look a bit more into the time frame in a sec, but play a game in Clash of Champions or Money in the Bank 25 times and use a Fusion Superstar card in a match 150 times. This one is really easy to complete, and I'll show you how in a sec. But if we look at the times, so to get, even if you had a Nightmare ready to go, to get a Primal's 4 days. So I'm kind of lucky because I'll get the WrestleMania 36 within 5.5 days, and then the Vanguard will be done in 8 hours. Realistically, I could spend 250 credits and boot up a Primal and it'll all be done. But I'm hoping that this pack will give me a Primal or above. If it does, I don't have to spend any additional credits. I only done the WrestleMania 36 because it's half price today. So the additional fusion's 125 credits, so I thought, saves me waiting 8 hours, I'd rather pay that. But if you're starting from scratch, you don't have many fusions built up, or you don't have the credits to spend on multiple fusions, then unless they provide another way without spending credits to get fusion cards, because you can buy the fusion feeder packs, which will no doubt count as well. But at the moment, it doesn't look like there's any way for a free player that doesn't already have fusions currently cooking to complete that quest within the time limit. If you want to do the 150 matches, probably the easiest way is just make loads of hardened cards, throw them all into wild, and just keep throwing the cards out there. Use your enhancements, because your enhancements, all you're gonna face off realistically is untrained beast cards. They're the types of decks that you're gonna face for the tier that it'll drag you down to. So if you use like Royal Rumble, Wrestlemania 36 level support, it should boost your stats. It'll boost your stats enough so that you'll win the matches anyway. But yeah, just throw. I think it's like 75 points, so it's like one monster card or a beast card, I think. 30 minutes to cook, and you can fill out your females as well with Alicia Fox, fill out your males, and it won't take you. It'll be really quick if you just do it that way. Let's have a look. Just wanted to check. So I don't have to worry about the star catalog. The new catalog star, because the WrestleMania 36 fusion, any single one of them will be a new star. So that's fine. Let's have a look. Bindable. Oh, I'll just do this. But yeah, if I fill out my wild deck with them, then it'll be pretty simple. I'll have to remove my females. So where's my wild deck? Yeah, so it throws me down to the bottom of Titan. Realistically, if you've got enough of them as well, you could probably fill out, if you filled out, what's it called? The Elimination Chamber. That'd go really quick as well. Just use the eggs and whatever fusions you've got, and then a high level support, and you'll be fine. So, that. And then the play Clash of Champions is really straightforward, or Money in the Bank. But yeah, this one's a bit worrying, especially for free players. Like, if you just literally don't have the credits to spare, I don't know how you're going to do this without some major fusion undercards. Like, if the next like team events are Road to Glory and they just turn around and go, right, every undercard's a fusion card, that'll be great. That'll be fine. but it's kind of like it's SuperCard. When have they ever made it that easy? Like, so I'm not expecting a lot of free players to be able to get this pack so far. Hopefully it changes, but so far I'm not expecting anything. Oh, it contains 2 superstars. Alright. So that's the quest. Fusion Chamber. Let's quick look in the store, and then we'll get on to the bulk of it, the Clash of Champions. So the Charging Up pack is back. So if anyone doesn't remember, this is the Fusion pack. It's not that good. It's not that good, to be honest with you. It's not even worth it. Maybe if you wanted to get like the first 2 packs, it'll cost you, I think, 350 coins, and you'll get like a nice legacy fusion from it. In fact, I think that's what we're going to do. You've always got, even though it's the worst chances, it's still a chance at Wrestlemania 36 card. So 3, 2, 1. Jan Samoa Joe. And then Charging Up. Gothic to Wrestlemania 36. 3, 2, 1, go. Shattered Murphy. And then the free pack. This is all we wanted, really. Let's see. Something really good. Come on. Go. Well, the Rock, nice. And then some Alpha. So we can ignore that for now. Then the Clashing pack is here. So again, it's the essentially the quest, but the Bitter Rivals quest pack. Get 500 Alpha, 1 train up card, and then 2 chances at a SummerSlam to Royal Rumble, and the cards are going to be Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels. I guess for images is the only reason you'd want this pack at this point. And then, of course, we have our Fusion Feeder pack, 50% off. I'm surprised this doesn't have an update to it. I'm guessing they're just throwing it on sale one last time before they do update the pack. It's 50% off at the moment, and it just runs Gothic up to Vanguard. Realistically, because the quest is Primal and above, this pack's terrible odds at getting, you know, for the what's it called, for the quest, because you can only get Primal and Vanguard. That'll fulfill the quest requirements. But yeah. And in the free packs, you can now get the peaks for Clash of Champions. I'm going to have a quick look in the collectibles because I haven't checked in here for a while to see what we've got. So we've got 34,975 Alpha, which, as far as I can tell, is pretty useless. So we could get, what can we get with that? So I can get a single Christian, or I could get a single Natalia. If I got a single Natalia, then I'd need another. What's that? 400. Need another about 2,000 Delta, and then that would mean that I'd have a Pro Natalia. If I got 2,000 Delta or 400 Delta and 300 Omega. But 4,000 Delta seems more likely. I'd need another just under 6,000 for a Pro Christian. Yeah, I'm holding out till the end of the month. I'm waiting to see if they turn around and say, right, oh, Alpha, Delta, and Omega is an ongoing thing. It'll be here every month, which I kind of hope they don't, for the simple reason that it keeps inflating the packs to ridiculous levels. But if it's going to be like a returnable event, like every couple of months, there'll be an Alpha, Delta, Omega event. I might just, and you could save them for the next event. I might just save them and not get a Christian or a Natalia and wait to see what the next event cards will be. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Right, Clash of Champions. So, the rank has really dropped. I got to top 1,000, went to bed, then woke up, did a shift in work. So, what's that been? 14 hours, something like that. And yeah, I dropped from rank 1,000 to 10,000. So that was fun. Started climbing way back up. But what I wanted to go through with this is just a couple of like things to watch out for and pitfalls that people seem to be going for. Like at the moment, if you're a free player or just like kind of minimum spending, honestly, don't bother with peaks. You don't need them. I'll show you why. So, what are we doing? Already attacked with toughness. Do toughness, charisma. Start the round. Let's go. So it's that Brett. So he's charisma, toughness, power and speed. Not there. Right, okay. One thing I wanted to show was, right, so you see in there, so we killed off 6 cards. Right. So when it comes to actually spending credits, unless you're, like really going for it, unless you're like, if you're one of them where it's like, oh, I'm blowing like 10 to 20k on this event, then use your reveals and get to the top 10 slot. But if you're being quite reserved and you're like, oh, I only want to spend like, like what you would normally on an event, like 1,000 to 1,500, something like that, then the one thing I've noticed that is a total rip-off within this mode is the revives. So don't use the restores, don't use any of like the restoration things, because essentially what you're buying yourself is, you got to look at it from how many cards can you essentially flip per, like, to a credit value. So if you look at it like on average, each bout I get to flip 5, maybe 6 cards. In perfect hand you can do 10, but that rarely happens. So say keep it conservative, 5 cards. So every hand, every bout I can do 5 cards. So for 100 credits, you can get a full restore of bouts. 5 bouts, 5 cards per bout, 25 cards for 100 credits. So essentially, a card flip becomes worth 4 credits. So then, if you look at it from like the restore or the round thing, you're looking at like spending 40 credits for 1 additional card flip, and 100 credits for an additional card flip. Like, the actual prices to them don't make sense at all. Right. So we've done this. Yeah, I'll go up here. So the key thing to this event essentially is keeping track of where you've been. Like, it doesn't matter how many bouts it takes you to complete a level. If it takes you 5 bouts, it takes you 5 bouts. It doesn't, like, honestly, that's not what matters. Every time you win a match, you're going to skip through ranks anyway, because people stop playing, people get stuck. Like, as long as you continuously play, you're going to rank for a card. And then the more you play, the better the card will be. So don't worry about losing, don't worry about using up bouts, that'll be fine. One thing I normally do is, I think I said this in my last video, is I tend to try and go for a single stat in the first round to avoid locking myself out of making a choice of a double stat in the second round. So like, I'd rather go for the power or the charisma, because likelihood in the second round it'll be like speed and power, speed and charisma. Whereas I go for the speed and charisma there, I essentially make one of these cards useless for 2 stats in the second round, as opposed to 3. So I'm going to do that. Chances are it's going to choose edge. No? On the flip side, when I know that a card's going to lose, so let's see. Right, okay. I don't get a choice here anyway, but say for instance I only had my edge, I would choose, because I knew no edge is going to lose, I would make sure that edge uses 2 stats. That's to minimise the risk and damage that he'll do to another card that it requires, because edge can't defeat a card, so it requires another card to help him. By using 2 stats on edge, I can minimise the damage. So like, where I used toughness and speed, I can just repeat that, and it's hardly anything off Alistair Black now. Even if I couldn't repeat it, then I would have picked something like power and toughness, or speed and charisma, and that way it would have minimised at least one of the stats. So like this is what I mean. So restore them for 40, and all you're going to get out of it is one card flip for 40 credits. Whereas if you're going by the average, so say your average again is 5 cards per bout, 100 credits, 5 bouts, 25 card flips in 5 bouts, so 4 credits per card flip. So essentially, for that 40 credits, you'd be able, if you were keeping the same average, you'd be able to actually flip 10 cards as opposed to the 1 that you're going to get from them 40. And that's all it is. It's maximising how many cards you can flip over. It doesn't, because realistically, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to find the champion. You're just maximising like how much coverage you can get throughout these decks, because the more coverage you can get and the more cards you can flip, then essentially you'll find the champion faster. It's a bit of a risky one. Kind of learning like what type of cards of what helps as well. So like learning what cards, like knowing what cards proc what stats can really help you out, because it can help you avoid essentially, because so the tiers for the other cards, in the only sense that they matter is if you look at the proc. So Monster procs by 150,000 points. However, if you look at like the likes of, I think it was Nightmare and Royal Rumble cards, they proc like 250,000, 300,000. Essentially guarantee you a loss if you go up against their main stat. So that's the kind of thing that you want to keep an eye on and look out for. Right, so I'm going to have to go toughness. Because if you're coming up against a card where you're just barely beating them, and then they proc by like another 250,000, 300,000 points, you're going to lose the match unnecessarily. So just kind of learning what cards proc, what stats, and like that. Right, it's either that one or that one. And just remembering where you've been, like, because the champion doesn't move. So I know for a fact, because I cleared 6, cleared that top part. So it's either this card or this card. Some people take screenshots of the deck to keep track, like marking them off and that. Other people, if you're using like blue stacks and that, they'll take a screenshot and then have paint or something open on the side. Even just grab a piece of paper and a pen and just quickly scribble out the shape, and then just mark off every time you check a card. So I know, because I've just cleared there, first turn I cleared here, and it's never going to be that card. So what I'll do is I'll do the middle, and then I'll do that one, and the sides. Right. Right, so I've done toughness and charisma because his toughness was depleted. So now even my weak card can take it out. So let's go power. Any of these cards should be able to take him. Right, so let's see. This one. And we're going to end up doing that. So yeah, we'll have a quick look because this is a Vanguard. So if you look compared to the monster, so you'll see procs for 263,000. So although the tiers don't seem to mean anything in the raw stats, the procs are a lot stronger the higher the tier. So always be wary of that. Oh, it's just salt in the wounds, isn't it? Because it's like locked. So 1044 was where I was at. And then, because of life, I'm now here. Yeah, it shouldn't take too long to catch up. Like, at times it'll feel like you're struggling to get through, and it's because a lot of people that are around the same rank are playing at the same time as you, and sometimes you can get caught in that herd for quite a while. But if you continuously play, eventually, like, time zones will adjust. Like, say I play all until 6 a.m, I'll pass through, like, European time zone. People in America will start playing the game and stuff like that. So the leaderboards kind of shift, and it's during that shift where you get the most momentum, because people stop playing then, and then another group starts playing. So if it feels like you're making like hardly any progress, and like your rank's just ping-ponging between the same points, just keep playing throughout the day and keep pushing forward, and eventually you will break out of that, like, that current grouping that you're in. It'll happen quite exponentially as well. It's like, what was it yesterday? I think it felt like forever, where it was like around 3,500. So kept playing games. I must have went through about 10-20 bouts where my rank would go like 3,600, 3,400, 3,500, 3,600, 3,400. And by the time I'd won my next match, it felt like I'd been pushed back enough where I was just about getting back to where I was. And just kept playing. And then eventually it hit about 1 a.m. And I won a match then. And then I jumped to like 2,900. And then I won another match and I jumped to like 2,500, 2,000, 1,800, 1,600. And every win, I was just like jumping lots, and that's where that like kind of transition happens, where essentially the other people that are around you have stopped playing, so you then suddenly start moving forward before the people who have started playing kind of hit that point. Right, we'll probably clear the top first. So we know that the champion that is never going to be in the starter cards. It can't. So the top seems like the best route to go. Right. So, screw it, let's use some peaks. So we know it's not them. No, it's not them. No, it's not them. I have a feeling it's that one. That was the best case scenario because we were forced to only use 2 stats, and it landed on me with his card, who was going to get taken out anyway. He's been brought down to hardly anything. So now I want to use speed. Hopefully it'll land on the rock. No, true. Still, it's not too bad. So, I'm going to go with power. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. Literally, all I'm trying to get through is as many cards as possible. And just keep track of kind of where I've been and where I need to check. No, I'll check there, and if not, then we're only here. That'll be in the next match, probably. So I'm going to use up Charisma. Start round. Power and speed. There we go. So when I use if I use Charisma, I have a feeling that he's going to proc and just completely destroy me. Oh well. Oh no, it's fine. Right, so yeah, so it's like, don't worry about losing. Just trying to maximize how many cards you can flip over. If you know that you're going to lose, if you know that, like, if the last card that you've got from the first round is a weak card that you know is going to lose, pick the attack that's going to use the most stats up, so a 2-stat attack. That way you're creating a bit of a buffer for other cards that have to face it. If you are going to spend credits, the most value that you're going to see if you're on a limited budget is the bout. If you're willing to blow 10,000 plus, then by all means go for the reveals and just use all the reveals and then pick the optimal route. Always keep track of where you've been, what cards you've already defeated, because the champion will never move and the champion will never be in the spawn points. So I think that's it. So I'm going to leave you with oh wait, sorry, I knew I forgot something. We now have a team, so 1-4. Anyone who's welcome to join as long as they're in a Season 6 tier. We do have a Discord, link will be in the description. So if you want to jump into the Discord, jump into the team, you're more than welcome. We are going to start our first team battleground tonight. I'll be live on Twitch from 11:30 UK time, and that's when I'll start the team battleground. So yeah, that is officially everything. So I'm going to leave you with another Fusion pack opening. As always, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Right, so we're quickly going to grab this Fusion pack. There's only a couple of hours left of the event. So I'm going to grab this, and hopefully I've got enough treasures to spawn the final one. Oh no. Nightmare, Leo Rush. To be honest with you, that's the best one that we've had. 4 more. I don't think we're going to get them from the board. So what we're going to do is jump in, and I think the pirate packs are still here. Oh, there we go. Grab 2 of these. And then this should be our final Fusion. $2.16, yeah. That was close. Right.